everyone. So welcome to part 6 of the series about project execution, and on this video I'm going to talk about management of contractors and vendors. So first of all, let's start with the part about selecting the right contractor or the right vendor for your project. So many projects use obviously external providers to do some of the job, and the problem is that they are often key elements when it comes to introducing risk on the project, because now you're dependent upon someone else to do a part of the project. So this might be arising from vague requirements. You don't communicate with them properly about what do you want from them, or the project frame is too urgent and you have to select a vendor, or you have to select a vendor because the situation is urgent and you cannot do it, and therefore this will add extra risk as well to the project. But there's many different types of selection approaches that you could take. For example, you could talk about direct sourcing, which is you specifically know the person or the company that you want to outsource the task to. You could talk about price and schedule, which is basically you manage the vendor based on how much they work on the project, for example, and you pay them by the hour. You can also have technical screens with price and schedule. So this is more about they come in to, for example, you select them based on their expertise, based on the technicality, on the technical standards that they can prove they are able to provide. So there's many different ways indeed to select how the right vendor is, but what I want to focus more today is how to manage different types of contractors. And the first one is suppliers of commodities. So this is when you purchase off commercially standard available products or services, things that it doesn't really matter from who it comes, because it pretty much is the same for all of them. Doesn't matter the supplier. And in this case, what you have to be careful is to maintain a certain arm's length relationship with the project team, because this type of suppliers, it might be because they know that it's easy to find the different suppliers, so they might try to do things that maybe would be less ethical, like bribes, or to try to do more on a likability factor. So in other words, oh, I'm easy to work with, you guys like me, so let's keep working together even though I'm more expensive. Remember, the objective of selecting a project should be what is best for the project, not what is best in terms of interpersonal relationships. So here, procurement activities should be managed by your purchasing department, and that means management of the prices or management of the timings of the payment if you have a purchasing department. Otherwise, you as the project manager have to do it. So here we have a focus on the characteristics of the project, on the products, I'm sorry. So you have to be very careful about the features, the quality, and the prices that you want. And therefore, these are the things that need to be very well managed, as well as the lead time. Managing supplies of custom products or service. In other words, when you have to deal with a supply and is creating something very unique for you, something that is being designed, let's say, from scratch or created according to what you need. In this case, then you purchase custom, like I said, it's a purchase of a custom product or service to the buyer's specifications, and you need to conduct periodic interactions with the supplier to answer any questions that they might have, and to also make sure that the progress of the supplier is going in line with what you need. So your purchasing department should be the one managing the prices and schedule of those payments if you have one, and your project team is the one that has to set the quality and the features they want on this custom-made product. So here, the seller actually is the one that will propose the time and the lead time for the delivery of those requirements. And this is the things that you need to be careful when working with providers of customer products or services. The last type of supplier I have is when you have suppliers of design products or design components, and here you are purchasing a custom product or a service that the suppliers designs to meet what you want. And therefore this is a little bit more complicated, because technically there is no special specification. You might say design for me an advertisement ad, but if you knew how it would look like, then you would not need to hire them. So you're giving them a concept, but you're not giving them specific information most of the times. And what you need to have is regular in-depth interactions with these suppliers to make sure it's going the direction you wish it to go. And here purchasing has to negotiate the general contract and then manage any payment or scheduling issues that you have with the company. And your project team needs to request the general concepts for quality features and for price costs and for lead times in this type of project. So as you see, when you're dealing with design products, the interaction you have with the company must be much higher than dealing with other types of suppliers. And finally, here the seller will propose to you a solution, and then they will negotiate with you the final deliverables until you get exactly what you wish to get, or what is the concept you wanted for your project. So to summarize, I covered there's 3 major types of suppliers and some tips. Remember those 3 major types of suppliers: suppliers of commodities, suppliers of custom products, and suppliers of design products. Each one of them has to be managed in a very different way. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video.